Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So I am just sitting here in my chair. This is all I've been able to do for a week. I had surgery and I've just been sitting down recovering. Finally feel good enough to make a video, and this is something I want to talk about. Tomorrow is the Video Game Awards, and of course, just like every year, there's controversy. I'll go over that quickly, but more so I want to do big picture stuff. So basically, if you are living under a rock, which if you know less than I do, you stumbled on I don't know how you stumbled on this video, but some DLC for Elden Ring. Shadow of the Erdtree got nominated for Game of the Year. And there's, I think, essentially two camps. People, that don't like that idea in lieu of like a brand new game, and people that are okay with that. And I'll be completely honest, I'm in the camp that I think it's kind of ridiculous that it got nominated for Game of the Year. It doesn't bother me, I'm not upset by it, which I'll get into, but it just, if it's DLC, it isn't a new game, and if they want to count it as something, in the way I'm looking at it, is that it should be considered for like, best ongoing game. I know they have a category for that every year that's like, Fortnite and whatever else, Apex Legends or Call of Duty, whatever they are. Stick it in that if it's a game that they're working at that angle. But of course they don't want to do that because that's not, the sexy Game of the Year category. So I just don't think it should be in that, be considered. But at the same time, the fact that it's on there doesn't bother me. I'm honestly not surprised, which is kind of where I want to go. Like everybody's, discussing that, aspect of it, whether or not DLC should be. And you can have your opinion either way, and you can make good cases for it. And I don't mean this to be a slight on the Elden Ring game. I love that game. That was probably my favorite game of the year that it came out. I did not get the DLC. I don't plan on it. It's been too long since I've played it. I don't want to go back to starting over and being that terrible. But to me, the way to look at this is what the Video Game Awards are really about. I think going in with the expectation that you are going to actually, like, literally get the best selection for each category is kind of insane for a lot of reasons. But really, a lot of it comes down to personal preference, your taste. And I know they say they pool a large group of people or companies, whatever, to come up with the final, whittle it down to 5 games for each category. But really, what those games or people or whatever it is, what it doesn't come down to the fact that they are the best games, like empirically or based on raw data. It's all personal opinion, or what this is about, guys. It's about money. The Video Game Awards exists to continue existing. It's not run by small YouTubers that have strong opinions. They're looking at it big picture. The reason they're putting games or DLC like Shadow of the Erdtree into that category is because they're getting money to do so. And now you can argue this, is that good or bad? I honestly don't think it is. That's the way things work. Jeff Keighley, everybody has an opinion on him. I actually like Jeff Keighley. Every time I've heard him speak, and the things I feel he's doing for the video game community, I think are positive. If you don't like the way the Video Game Awards are set up, that's fine. But what are you doing differently to make your own game awards or improve things? He has to run it as a business. If it's not successful financially, it's not going to continue to exist. And putting every single, small YouTubers or, small person doing a poll online, putting their favorite game in these categories, that's not going to cut the checks. So, it's run as a business. That's what it is. And to exist, that's what it has to be. I'm totally fine with that. So I don't have expectations. That's why I'm not upset about DLC being nominated. I understand it coming from a business standpoint. Do I agree with it? No, but that doesn't mean that you can't see the bigger picture. So yeah, I just don't really, I think the discussion shouldn't be, should DLC be in the category? It should be, why is DLC, or what, what's the bigger picture of the video game awards? Now, I like the video game awards. I watch it every year. I watch the entire thing because I'm a gamer, and it's just, something, somebody does the biggest, video game thing of the year, which I'm sure is super hard to pull off on the scale that they do it. Do I look at every aspect of it? No, of course not. I have criticisms. It's not perfect by any means. We could have a long discussion on that. And I'd agree with you on probably 90 to 95% of the stuff. And we would have some disagreements on individual things. That's fine. But here's my thing when I watch it. When you actually get to see one of the awards on the show, because half of them, they just announce who the winner was and they move on, it doesn't really affect me who I am as a gamer or what I enjoy. And I'll say, okay, let me start off. Some of the categories I just don't care about. Like, nothing against the category or the people in it. For instance, I know there's like the best e-team or online team. I think it's people that play, what do they play now? I don't think it's Fortnite anymore. But there was like FaZe was a group, and there's all these groups, and somehow they make money. And that's great. I'm very happy for them. If they are having a positive influence on gaming as a whole, I'm all for it. Doesn't interest me. That doesn't have to. I'm an old, irrelevant fart. That's totally fine. If it's bringing a younger audience to the stage and getting them interested in games, I have no problem with that. But at the same time, I don't really care. And I don't think the Game Awards do either, because you never see that getting announced live on stage. I don't even know if they announce those ones on stage, or if it's just something done in the background and then they just flash the winner before going on to another trailer. But the few awards that I do care about, or that I have some passing interest in year to year, depending on what games are in it, if the game I wanted to win doesn't win, I've never once gotten upset, even Game of the Year. Sometimes I've been a little surprised, but I've never been upset. And I think anyone getting upset over something like the Video Game Awards, you got to keep things in perspective. It's not worth it. And I think the reason we as gamers, or any person that has an interest and there's an award for that interest, I think part of the reason you want, and I'm gonna just use games as an example, you want your game to win is because you really like that game and it means something to you on a personal level. So it winning kind of, you feel good for them, you feel good for yourself. It validates that whole, your whole experience with the game. And the people that made the game or are involved in the background, they want it to win too, but it's for a different reason. The games that win these awards are probably going to see a small sales bump, if not a larger one, especially Game of the Year. That's why they nominate these games and they want them to win, because it doesn't really mean that it's a better or worse game or soundtrack or art design or anything like that. It just means that it's going to get a little more recognition for more average gamers, or people that aren't plugged into the zeitgeist. Some of us probably, if you found this video, you're probably plugged into video games. So we see things on a bigger picture. Some of these people that hear about the winners of these game awards, that's the first time they're going to hear about some of these games. So will it increase the likelihood that sales go up for a short time, especially right before the holidays for these games? I think so. I think that's common sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. Which is why, going back full circle, DLC for one of the biggest games that came out, was it last year? Or the year before it? Whenever Elden Ring came out, not that long ago, they want to see a sales bump. Maybe Shadow of the Erdtree didn't sell as well as they were hoping, or maybe they're just capitalizing on, the success that it had from the beginning. I don't know. But it's in that category because they know it's going to help sell more. And that's just the way things work. And don't think for a second that the Video Game Awards isn't going to see some kind of financial support because of that it got nominated. Now, I'm not saying that anyone from FromSoft or anywhere else went to them and was like, hey, we will give you X amount of money if you nominate it. I don't think that's what happened. But I think the way things work is that they're going to end up seeing money because some of these games got into categories, like, for instance, that DLC. So, we all want these games to win, and we, want to see the things we care about reach another level of success. But does it really matter? Like, my favorite game of the year isn't going to change, even if it wasn't nominated for the top 5. And I'll tell you right now, my 2 favorite games of this year were Astrobot and Metaphor ReFantazio, and they're both nominated for the Game Awards. So of course I feel great. But if Shadow of the Erdtree or did Final Fantasy get nominated even? I don't even remember if it did. I didn't look up anything before making this video. But if one of the other games happen to win, I'm going to be happy for that game. I'm going to be happy for the developers and the company behind it, and hope that, you know, it does help them reach more success. That's all there is. It isn't going to change how I feel about the games that I like or that I thought were the best. That's going to stay the exact same no matter what. So I just don't think that you should put too much stock into what gets nominated and what doesn't get nominated, or what wins something like the Video Game Awards. Just watch it and have fun. And now I did that whole rant. Let me just finish with this. I don't watch the Video Game Awards for the awards at all. I don't really care about them, even Game of the Year. It's like a passing thing. Like I'm like, oh, okay, fine. The reason I watch it every year is for all the new game trailers. That's really what I care about. For me, it's a huge, giant advertisement for things that I'm potentially going to be very interested in. And I love watching it because you get live premieres, games I never heard about, and to me, that's just the most exciting part. The awards themselves are kind of like, just like a, in-between palate cleanser. And I kind of feel guilty. I kind of wish it was the other way, that the awards were the primary focus of the awards show. But really, guys, it's not. It's the trailers for the games, and I think that should just be what we should focus on. Let's watch those and discuss trailers and games we're excited for. The awards themselves, I just want games to be successful, and the teams that do a good job on their games, all find success with their games. That's all I really care about. The rest is kind of, chop liver to me. So anyways, I don't know if anyone is going to watch this whole rant, if anyone cares about me I'm talking about the Game Awards, but there we go. That's it. If you have anything to say, I would love to hear, especially if you disagree with me, let me know. We can totally discuss it, because I don't have strong opinions, but I love to have discourse with people. So that's it. I will be watching the Game Awards tomorrow night. I hope you guys will too. We're going to get some sweet trailers. I'm crossing these fingers right here for Persona 6. If we get Persona 6, I will freak out. I'll do some kind of video for that. But besides that, I just want to have fun and enjoy the Game Awards. I hope you guys do too. Don't let DLC or anything else affect your ability to have fun watching something as silly and, non-serious as the Video Game Awards. Okay, guys? Have a good night.